The next topic we can look into would be plates. So we know now how to create all kind of members, but we've not really looked yet into how to create plates. So first of all, let's switch views, level 0 for example, and let's have a look at what we have. So we have flashing or bent plate, but that will be for later. We see grating here. We see outline, yeah, okay, outline plate that would mean. But let's first have a look at profile. Right mouse click to call up the setting box. Give our component a certain name. And then we can just type in PL width X thickness. And there we have a plate. You can enter any thickness you like. These are what we call generic profiles. So you can make them as small or as large as you need them to be. You could make it an FL as well, but in Bocad you don't really have to care too much whether it is a PL or an FL for a flat bar or FB for a flat bar. The marking will sort it out for you, no problem, no matter how you create the component. So you could give that plate a certain width and thickness. Position, we're looking at, I'll do it like this, 20 thickness. Okay, start, finish, and there goes the plate. Of course, these components could also be bent. Of course, we wouldn't bend in this direction, but rather in this one. Could be curved as well. It doesn't really matter. Start, finish, enter. There's the component. That would be for such a plate like this. And yes, there is also the next function, outline plate. And as the name suggests, all we have to do is enter a designation, enter a steel grade or material, and just specify a thickness. Again, doesn't matter what thickness it is. Right now the thickness is halfway, it's on the axis basically of that plate. Place it below, place it above, but perhaps with a little offset, or below with an offset. And we can also expand, so blow up the shape a little bit or make the shape a little bit smaller. Okay, the idea is we pick a certain outline, so a certain number of points, and confirm with enter. So very useful if we want to create, for example, a concrete floor somewhere, like this. Make it a bit bigger, 5 inches bigger, for example. Oh, that's not enough. Let's make it 20 inches bigger. Okay, and one huge concrete slab like this below our structure. Another thing we can do with this function would be to have a circular plate. The idea being this is the diameter, radius, number of segments. Okay, pick a point, pick a point, pick a point, or pick a location, and it will be created there. There's also a square plate, very useful for base plates, for example. So if I zoom in over here and I want a certain base plate, let's say 16 by 16, 1 inch thick, downwards, center point as our anchor point, and there goes the base plate. If now I'd say as a left anchor point, the position will be different, of course. And if we need a little offset, we can give an offset in Y or in X. So I could say centered, but with an offset of 3 inches in X, meaning it will go 3 inches to the side. The same function will also allow us, let's come back to outline plate, to create a different type of plates, checkered plates, for example, grating. The default is not there, so we'll just pick another one. From this list, I can choose various suppliers. Each supplier might take a couple of seconds, might take a second or two to load, since the types can vary from one supplier to the next. Just choose one of the types. We can filter on specific properties, then search in the catalog what's available. Just choose the grating we need. Confirm. No expansion in this case, maybe. OK, 1, 2, 3 for that grating. The grating, I'll create one more. Nothing special to it, apart from the designation, of course. That's the one that has to match, of course, for the bill of material. But we must know that the representation could be different. It's just a matter of settings. Just to quickly show, we can also show like this the orientation of that grating checkered plate. Also, there will be a little symbol to show that it's not just a regular plate, because the properties are a bit different. A regular plate can be mirrored and they will still be identical, or could very well still be identical, but when you mirror a grating, it becomes a mirror image of the original one and will have different mark numbers. So there's different properties between a regular plate and an actual grating. And now we know this, we can start fitting in some connections.